He had a little bit of a medical problem, and we had couldn't come out a lot, and so he really didn't get to finish the season the way he would have liked to finish the season. But next year, I'm hoping he'll come back, and we'll really utilize his services next year. Thanks, guys. Now, this young lady too, Miss Sophie, she started a little slow, and I didn't know why, because she was her and her family, and they're all into soccer. And but they found that she had a little medical problem. After the medical problem, this little girl turned it on. Was really a hard-working player, and we're expecting big things from Sophie next year. Now, Emmanuel here, he came to us late, okay? And Emmanuel's one of the few guys that I could put out in the field because he was a little stouter than some of the other fifth graders here. And I wasn't worried about him getting run over like some of the other kids. And so Emmanuel came close to actually getting a letter. You have to earn a letter, you have to be on the field 30% of the time. But if there anyone that came close, it was Emmanuel. I'm just hoping that Emmanuel sticks with the soccer and comes back and works with us next year.
Sam's not here, but you don't know when Sam is going to be.
No, Sam. That's exactly right.
We got Sam.
Sam. Sam's here. He's here at the game. Sweet kid. All righty. All right. Let me have the 6th and 7th graders. Let's do the 6th girl. Let's do the 6th grade girl.
6th grade girl.
6th grade girl. This is our iron wall. All right. These girls played defense. These girls came alive as the season went. They started at a level, and their level just kept increasing. They all played really well. Okay, and I'm just thankful to have all 4 of these young ladies playing. And you know, those guys tried pushing them a lot. They wouldn't get by these guys. I'll tell you, these guys, I mean, they stood their ground. So,
and I think part of the challenge for us was, you know, I don't think, have you ever coached sports before?
It's been a long time.
I haven't either. And so, you know, this is where we, you know, I never saw my dad more animated on the sideline in 40 years of coaching. I mean, he's another coach of faces or something. I'm looking at him, trying to process what's going on with that. I've never seen this out of him. You know, our family was, we're really old, could be one. Yeah. But I think it's because, as we talked about it, we almost protected. We wanted to protect the girls, right? We've never coached, so we see these boys, you know, just kind of, you're doing one of those things. We're getting a little huffy over there, going, hey, you know, we can't do that. And so finally, kind of vetted ourselves, saying, hey, it's because what they're doing to the girls out there, But I think they handled themselves in a tremendous way. They competed, and I don't think we had anything to really worry about. It was very exciting. It was really fun to kind of get involved with girls and boys and let them become successful.
Not only that, the other teams looked at these girls and they go, look, they got 6, 7 girls out of it. We're going to beat these guys. Shots didn't happen, all right? Our girls stood their ground. Did a great job of doing it. So let's start with Sylvia here. Sylvia, she's never played soccer before, okay? And she's a basketball player, and, you know, she has that sense. She's a point guard, so they know where everything's going on out in the field. And so we worked a while and tried to figure out where Sylvia would be best, and we put her out on the outside back because she was tenacious. She would just get down there and fight all the time for the ball. So Sylvia's got a real uptick in the future if she just sticks with the sport. And we want her to stick with the sport, right, Sylvia?
Yeah. And I appreciate Sylvia because she did not want to play fullback. But she took her role well, and she was selfless in her actions, and that was a big part of our success, was that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know she wanted to be in the middle, run around, up and down, but we appreciate that, Sylvia.
Great. They get a little soccer ball to put on their letter, and of course, a letter. You know, what is that thing? What do they call that thing? A certificate. Oh, right? A certificate. That's the other thing. All the coaches, we say, hey, sweetie, hit that guy, or get that ball. And they all look at us, all those other coaches. They call them girls sweeties. It happened a bunch of times. Miss Nicole here has she's got a tremendous skill level. She's one of the few people on this team that really came to the team with skills. and very, very good skills. We ended up putting her at an outside back because she can handle just about any forward that we played against. And she did a marvelous job in doing it. I'd love to get her out in midfield where she can use those passing skills that she has. But that'll be next year, and we'll reevaluate that next year. But it was great having Sophie back here. I wasn't sure Rachel was going to like soccer. You know, the first couple of times she came, you know, I thought, oh man, we're not going to keep her very long. Kids kind of slid in and out of the program early on, you know, so you never knew who was going to come back. Rachel kicks well with both legs. She probably sticks people as well as any girl on the whole team. She just gets up there and kicks that ball, and she don't care who it is. So we really appreciated her this year, and she did a marvelous job. Rachel, I know her from someplace, okay, and I love her very, very dearly, as I do all the other kids. But she's special. She's my granddaughter, and I was wondering how this was going to work this year, and it really worked out well. She came a long way. I watched her play fullback a couple of years ago, and this year she played exceptionally well. She did a marvelous job, and I'm glad she's made it.
And it was fun with Ella, and this is kind of the way I went with the girls. This is a unique side of it. Is she came home one day from the soccer game, and she wasn't happy. I'm like, Ella, what's wrong? She's like, Dad, some boy, he ripped my sock. It's like a runner. It's like a runner. And she was not happy. So, you know, I don't know. First time I've ever heard of that, but accessorizing is important.
How about 7th graders? Come on up. 7th graders. All 7th graders. All 7th graders. Let's just talk about Seth.
Let's just do a Seth solo.
Seth, you got
solo.
man performance here. Nobody else
Seth
solo.
solo.
You know that? You're the man. Seth played forward for us. He has really good skills. He's learning a lot. He has ambitions about being a goalie coach. Play goalie next year. So we'll be having to think about that. We got a long time to think about whether we're going to put you in the goal, but Seth did a nice job, and we were really happy.
Well, one game I look back and Dad's like, "What should we do for second half and goal?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe just go in there and give him some more practice, you know." And I look back and Seth's right next to me with this goalie outfit on.
That's right. Yeah, no,
He already got his 9 days.
he already has one.
He was playing goal.
Got a letter for him. Great job. Yes, I did. There you go. All the 7th graders, come on up here, 7th graders. 7th graders, girls, guys, come on up.
I'm not going fast.
I know every time. That's what I'm saying. Grades are fluid. I know. Just kind of gas. No, I'm serious.
All righty, let's talk about our 7th graders. We'll begin with this young lady right here. She was another one that I wasn't sure she was really going to like soccer. Blessing came and I said, Blessing, you like going? She doesn't express herself a lot, okay? You kind of have to read through. But as she improved, and this girl is really gifted when it comes to speed and aggressiveness. By the end of the season, she was shoving guys out of the way, all of that stuff. But in the beginning, all of the girls were a bit timid. Not at the end of the season, they were timid at all. So our hope is that Blessing will continue to work on her soccer game. And maybe we'll make a scorer out of her, but her daddy's going to have to teach you that. Anna's another newbie. I mean, Blessing hadn't played soccer before. Anna hadn't played soccer before, although I got to yell at Mark, because Mark played soccer, and I'm surprised he didn't play soccer in series. I mean, he knows what a good sport it is. We played Anna at outside halfback, right outside halfback. Poor things, her and Blessing had to run up and down the field. The halfbacks run the most of anybody. And so those are the people we really want to sub for, but we didn't have any subs. So they stood the test of time. They did a marvelous job. She really improved as the season went on, and she got really physical at the end of the season. So next year, Anna, thank you.
I love that.
Andrew here is one of those guys that I'm so glad he came to our school. So very glad. I would dialogue with his mother via email on a regular basis. We have Andrew. Well, he practices on Mondays and Wednesdays. You can have him Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's what we went through with Andrew. And then sometimes he could get out of practice if there was a big game. He has tremendous skills. He's basically an outside back and a goalkeeper, but with his offensive skills, we needed him in the offensive side of the ball. So he played really well. And probably his best game was that game against those guys that beat us yesterday. What did he have, 3 goals that game? Yeah, they gave you no graces last game, though, did they? They must have known you were there. But anyway, it was good to have Andrew, and we hope to see him again next year. This little guy right here, he's getting bigger all the time. Played for me for about 3 years in the past. He and Tommy, and I was so excited to hear that Connor was available. Now, he made a commitment to a good friend of mine, Daryl Bell, on the cross-country thing, and so we had to work with Daryl on getting him to play soccer for us. And Daryl was very gracious to loan him to us for most of the games, and we were thankful for that. Connor was one of those guys that talks all the time on the field. Through, pass, drop. He's like a team leader out there. You hear him talking all the time. So it was good to have Connor, and hopefully he'll be back with us again next year. I'm not sure what grade he is. 7th grade. 7th grade. All right, there you go. All right, of course, this is my grandson. I love him dearly, just like I love my granddaughter. Tommy, we had to put him and Andrew out in front. We basically attacked with 2 players, all right? Most of soccer, you attack with a bunch more, but we had to attack with 2 players because of the makeup of our team. Tommy took the brunt of it. He would get beat up because everybody marked him. They go, we'll get on that tall, skinny kid. And they would beat him up, and he'd come back and say, they're kicking on me, and they're beating on me, and they're pulling my jersey. And say, shut up, Tommy, just go back in. That's the true dialogue. That's just how it was, too. Tommy's gifted. He's very fast. He's got really good skills, and it'll be a pleasure to coach him again next year. Indeed, I'm still here next year. So. Now, Adam here, and I say this very honestly and very candidly, is probably the best pure athlete we have on the team. He is very quick. He kicks with both feet. Never played soccer before. Okay, on a team that I know of, and I don't think he has. He has unbelievable ability and unbelievable potential. He wanted to play some offense. We had to put him back on defense. You need to stop the other team from scoring before you can even think about scoring. And he was the man. He was the man that stood back there, and I can't tell you the number of balls he cleared out of the way at the last second. It saved us in so many games. So hopefully next year we'll get him out into a little bit more of an offensive posture, but we'll see what next year brings. It's good to have you. I took my shoes off because I was going to let somebody else use them to play the soccer game. That never materialized, so I do have shoes. Mo has been just a delight to coach. The sweetest kid, the kindest kid. We weren't sure what we were going to do with him, and then we thought, maybe goalkeeper. Well, we'll do goalkeeper. So he and I, we went into soccer class, and we got in this nice, gorgeous, I thought, outfit for goalkeeping. But I picked it, and then I brought him over, and I wanted him to pick 2 or 3, and he picked the same one I picked. So we like that. We like that soccer juice we did with. Mo had never played goalkeeper before, and I can't tell you the number of times he bailed us out, especially in that last game. That whole first half. long he's been our captain. And, you know, we go out and we pray out front. Mo always prayed for us when we were out there with the other teams. Did a marvelous job with that. And so, Mo, we're just thankful to have you. All right, now, give him that. Stay here, Mo. Now, the one other thing is Mo is being honored as the our representative as a all-star for the whole league. All right. So. We hope Mo's back next year. No? Yeah, we'll figure it out later. What else do we want to tell? What else do we want to share, Dave?
Do you want a picture? You want to get a picture here, guys? Want to get a picture? Oh, yeah. Turn to get a picture here. These guys.
All right. We'll get it. Now, we also gave these guys this armband. They were captains. Mo was was the captain. Tommy and Adam were our assistant captains. So we gave them armbands. That's what you see them there. Okay. So
Letters.
Great job, guys.
Letters.
Hold them up. Hold them up.
Barely and never puts it. I think I have everybody.
I don't know. Okay, I what, guys?
they got a lot of pictures. That's got to happen, huh?
Okay, there was no.